Hello, hello. We are back with our tour around the world, and we are going to be talking about what our friends around the world eat for lunch in their countries. So let's go back real quick and recap where we've been. We're here to learn about food, what it is, what it isn't, nutrition, how it works in our bodies, and how to cook from scratch. And what we're doing here in this course is learning how to outsmart big food, fast food, and junk food by learning what real food is, where it comes from plants and animals, from the earth, and how to grow our own, how to source it at supermarkets and everything in between, farmers markets, all different kinds of places to get your food, your healthy foods. And we're learning about why seasonality is important. Why geography is important, why different foods grow well in different areas depending on the landscape and the weather and the geography, what staple foods are, what plant staples are, what grows in countries for plants, and what protein staples are, what animals are abundant in certain areas of the world, and what dairy staples, what animal byproducts are abundant in different areas of the world. So that's where we're at. This is the super fun part of this course. We're going around the world and we're looking at what our friends around the world eat for their different meals. So here we're going to be talking about lunch. First, on this first slide, I want you to look real quick at these pictures. At the top, we have China, Asia. One of their popular meals is chow mein. That would be a lunch meal or a dinner meal. It consists of noodles and vegetables and sometimes some meat. So, really delicious, flavorful. It'll be flavored with soy sauce or oyster sauce. All stir fried together in a pan. So that's just a picture of that. I want you just to open your mind up and start thinking about other countries and other kids and what they might be eating all around the world. So, in the middle here, we have Paris, France. That's the Eiffel Tower there in Paris. And they might be eating cheese fondue, which is melted cheese mixed with spices, sometimes some wine, and you can dip bread in it. And there's also chocolate fondue, which would be a dessert. You dip some fruit in it, some strawberries, things like that in it. So that's just kind of a neat, different kind of food that you might find in France. And at the bottom here, we have Brazil. We have Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Um, One of the major staples, protein staples there is beef. And so they eat a lot of beef. This is called, picture here shows you what churrasco is, which are beef skewers that are beef that is skewered and barbecued. Really simple. We have that here in America too. They spice their meats differently there and really popular. Churrasco is really popular in South America and especially Brazil. So those are just a few of the things that you might find in different countries of the world: China, France, Brazil. And here for lunch, we're going to look at a few more. So, again, I'm going to show you in each of these meals what you might find in the United States, and then we'll go into some other countries. So, what we have here in the United States is your burgers and fries, right? The burger and fry is very typical American or United States food that people might eat for lunch. In the written lesson, I also talked to you about how sandwiches are very popular in the United States, which is bread with meat and vegetables in between the bread. Any kind of spreads. There's a big different array and variety of sandwiches, including hamburgers and French fries and other sides like salads or fruit that you might get. But something like that, like you see here in this picture, a burger and fries is something you might get for lunch in the United States. So let's go straight down from there. This is Greece. Now, remember, look at these flags because there's going to be a test. So, remember, the Greek flag is blue and white, very beautiful. And here we have this would be a very thinly sliced grilled chicken or grilled beef. This would be a pita bread kind of like a sandwich, but it would be done in pita bread, which is very typical in Greece. It's a thinner bread than what we have here in America, and you fill it with vegetables, with cheeses, with and different meats, different thinly sliced meats. This one has a tzatziki sauce on it, which is a yogurt-based sauce, which is very common in Greece. Tzatziki sauce is very healthy and good for you, and it is used on lots of different Greek food. So in Greece, you might find the kids eating a pita wrap for their lunch. Let's go back up. Here we have Argentina. Now, Argentina is in South America, and again, they're really they have an abundance of beef and meat in all of South America, and this is called an empanada, which is like a little pastry filled with meat and vegetables. The meat will be spiced; it'll be very delicious. You can hold these in your hand, walk down the street and eat them. Very delicious, very popular. You might see kids having these in their lunch um, any day of the week. And you can get them here in America too. You can get all of this stuff in all kinds of different countries of the world. But something very typical of Argentina would be these empanadas. Let's go down from there. We have Japan again. I wanted to show you a lunch in Japan because the bento box. This is a bento box, what you see here, and it's so fun. And I think kids love bento box type lunch boxes where there's different compartments and different little foods in each one, and you can try everything. So here, that's what this is. This is a single portion bento box with here you have some sushi. You have some tempura veggies, which are vegetables that are fried, that are breaded and fried. You have some salad here, and you have some rice, of course. Rice is a very important staple in the Asian countries, and you will see it a lot in a lot of their meals, including in their lunches and their bento boxes. Here in the middle, you see a little bit of pickled vegetables, which are also very, very common and very popular in Japan. So the single portion bento box, really fun. I definitely wanted to show it to you again. And this shows you the Japanese flag again, so keep that in your mind because there will be a test. All right, let's go back up here to China. So in China, the kids might have a bowl of noodles and vegetables, maybe some tofu, which is a plant-based protein. They might have small pieces of beef or chicken in their ramen bowls. They might have also some steamed dumplings or some steamed buns filled with meat and veggies. Here, I wanted to show you this ramen bowl because they're very, very common in China and in a lot of the different Asian countries, and they can be filled with almost anything. Usually you'll have these curly rice noodle or these curly noodles. These are just regular noodles. The curly noodles, we have a cup of noodles here, and we have some instant, very popular instant ramen noodles here. It's kind of the same thing. And you'll have the noodles, then you'll have a broth, you'll have some beef, you'll have some vegetables, and it all, and some sauces, some oyster sauce, some soy sauce, and it all mixes up and cooks together and makes for a very, very healthy and very delicious lunch. So some of your friends in China might be eating ramen bowls for lunch. This last one is very interesting, and I didn't know much about this country of Kenya until I researched it. And the food in Kenya sounds like it would be very, very delicious, and we will learn how to make some of this stuff. The most common thing in this picture that I wanted to show you was the bread. Here it's called chapati, and it's a flat bread, very similar to tortillas, if you know what tortillas are. And this chapati bread is served with like almost all the time at meals in Kenya. Here you see it served with this stew that is called nyama, which is a stew of meat and corn and beans. And there's also something called githeri in Kenya, which I don't really know what that is, but we're going to learn what it is over time, and we're going to learn what all of these different dishes are in all these different countries. But if you're thinking about your friends in Kenya, the kids in school there or at their houses there might be eating a bowl of this stew, corn, beans, meat with some rolled up chapati bread. So that's Kenya. So we've gone over the United States lunches, Greek lunches, Argentinian empanadas, some Japanese bento bowls, some Chinese ramen bowls, and now some Kenyan chapati and stew. So, when you're sitting in your lunch period or your lunch break at school, I want you to think about what your friends around the world might be eating for lunch at the same time. All right, we'll see you at dinner.